I just love that music. Isn't it great? Today, we're going to paint an iris. Yeah, this is called luminescent iris. Let's take a look at the painting I'll be working from. This is a painting that I have done in advance. And on all my shows, I work up the painting, so I know exactly where we're going. Now, the iris, I love the iris. Look at, can you see these? They're like a ballerina, where the arms are stretched out. And it has sort of a silky, very loose, very flowy look. You see the curves coming out. We even even though we worked from a photo, we take and we accent these little edges to make it look a little more graceful, like a woman ice skater just doing her jumps with her arms and her legs out. This is just wonderful. Look at the color. Can you see the warm color spilling out? So we have warm against cool. Now, if we had warm color all over the place, this would no longer be an accent. We wouldn't have this glow. It glows because we don't have any other warm color around. Let's take a look. Whoa, I know, I don't have much time up here, guys, so I have part of this started. The background is acrylic, which is dry, and it's sort of a gray neutral color. I went in with some acrylic and put in some sort of mauve, just sort of ghosty leaves in the back. I got a little bit of a stem showing and a little color in here. Today's lesson is on how to lay in your iris, how to block all our grays in, and how we come in with our white. It's very simple to do. The one thing you have to watch out when you're painting an iris is that when you photograph an iris, many of them have so many petals all over the place it gets too busy. Let me show you a photograph that Catherine took. This is from our garden, and it's an iris, and this is what I used for the inspiration. Can you see the color spilling out of there? Now, actually, I go in and accent, and I put more reds and little shots here and there, but basically, this is what we use. We take all our own photos, work from, and when we can, I might take an iris in the house and work from that. Now, let's come down to the palette. I've already pre-mixed some gray. I'm going to show you how to use your filbert. Most of this painting will be done with a filbert. If you know your values, this is about a number 2.5 or 3 value. Okay, let's take this up here. And I know I have a little bit of a sketch on here, but don't worry because the pattern will be in the book. Now, this gray isn't showing up. Why isn't it? Because on the palette, when I mixed my gray, I was relating the gray to white. On our canvas, the gray is going to be relating to a value that's a little bit darker, so it's not showing up. So that happens. So we'll just put a little more black with it. Come up here and let's test it. Whoa, now is that too dark? Could be. Back down. Everything, we have to go in and sort of just mess with it. Then you mix up your value, you test it. Now we're cooking. Now we're going to go around. Oh, and I also put a slight coat of medium on here. In a minute, I'll show you. I'll tell you what I have for medium in a sec. But I'm just going to jump around. Now this paint is very dry. We're going to go around and find all the darks. Now, it's going to look a little strange to you to start with, because remember, everything starts with an abstract, but it's so simple. Once you get your grays going, you're going to find that that iris will look almost finished just with the grays in. Now we're going to come on the other side. We have gray there. We have a shot up here. We have some gray here. Watch me roll that brush. Remember, it's the filbert. And we lay that in. Don't get into the areas where it's going to be white. Sometimes you just wiggle your brush to get that scalloped edge. Come on, pull it in just a little bit. We have a nice gray in here, which is going to show a little flip. I'm going to come down, pick up a little more bright gray. I'm back up here. Sometimes I start with the flat and I end up with just the point to get some little skinny edges. Yeah. Come on around. Now, what am I forgetting? Nada. I think we got most of it in there. Look, now I'm going to get some veins going. See? Ding, ding, ding. Okay. I'm going to take my little brush. I have a little round brush. And the round brush I use is sable. Sable makes the best points. And when I take my color, I always like to take it and twist the brush, which puts a nice little point on it. I'm going to come in here and add just a touch of my crimson in there. We'll have maybe a little crimson over here. And by using the little brush, it keeps us from getting too much paint on the palette, on the canvas. We're going to come in on the palette and take some yellow and orange. And we'll take that up here. And this is very dry. That's why this color's popping. And you notice how I just kind of hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Ah, look at that color. Boy, it's almost glowy. Now, watch this. This is really going to be, this is what I love about doing the iris, or actually doing any flower at all, is putting this white on, which is going to really pop. I'm into my terp. You don't see it, but I'm into it. Oh, the medium I'm using, let me show you that. This is part linseed oil and part odorless terp. So when I say I'm dipping into my medium, that's what I'm into. And also always have a big jug of terp to clean that brush between colors, especially when you go from a dark to a light. You need to swish it in there. The towels I use, even the towels are important. The towels I use are very soft, absorbent towels. Don't use those towels that aren't absorbent, because you need, when you wipe your brush, you need that towel to soak up the paint. There are other towels that won't soak it up, and you'll have paint all over your hands and everything. Okay. Boy, I'm just so full of knowledge, I just don't know what to do. We're going to take some white. Now watch this happen. Watch this happen. There, we're going to pick a petal right out of here. Pick a petal, pick a petal. Now, I've got a gray on the background, which seals the canvas just beautifully. So we don't have to worry about the paint soaking in, because our strokes mainly will stay right on the surface. I'm going to take a little sienna, because I see I have a little in there, but I want to bring a little bit of that out, just a shot. All right. Now back into our white. I'm wiping my brush off so it's dry. We want to get this nice curve. Watch this. You see how I bring that up like that? You see? We're going to get a little more white, a little more white. Get that. There it is. Woo-wee. Now we're going to take that white and bring it right down into that sienna on the bottom. And we might take a little more white and pull that sienna, or that white, into the sienna. Because we're doing a painting that has a little more detail in it. So it takes a little longer. We have a petal that's flipped over on the top. And over here, yeah, the canvas I'm using is an ultra smooth canvas. And it really saves your brushes, guys. That rough stuff will eat your brushes up, and you'll be going out and buying more brushes all the time. So it's really, even if you have to pay a little more for your smooth canvas, do it, because it will save your brushes and you'll save money in the long run. Now, I'm just using white. No biggie. Look at it go in. You remember I've always told you about that stroke where you push down and you pull up, push down and pull up, so it blends on the back side. Don't just stroke it in and stop, because you'll end up with a hard edge. So once you learn how to stroke your canvas, it will become automatic for you. You don't even have to think about it. You just look at your picture and say, oh, there's a petal, bam, and you throw it in. It's so simple. You see, it's actually easier doing it the right way, because the right way takes just as much energy to do as the wrong way. Actually, the wrong way, you'll probably work harder. Because you're going, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that. Let's flip this edge over here. See that pedal flipping over? Now we'll be putting little tints on our painting later. But right now, we are just searching these pedals out. We're wanting to know where these pedals are located. What are they doing? There's another edge in there. And a little mystery. Maybe we'll just put a little shot in there like that that indicates something. Another pedal coming out. We have a nice curve in here. And now, we're working very dry. See it? You see that curve? You know. You gotta get that swing in there. Here. Again. Look at it go. Whoa. You see. Okay. Now we have a nice curve here. We're going to curve around. And grab the top of that curve. And sometimes you'll go back and forth. So block it in, and after we have it blocked in, we will go back in and and put our detail in. You see that? That's very important, that little shot in there. Now we have gray here, and we'll bring our pedal out this way. See that nice little curve? Don't make everything perfect. You don't want to we want that curve. It adds a very natural look to your pedal. Remember, when you photograph iris, sometimes you have to take some of the petals and pull them away because you have so many, they're overlapping each other, that you just can't paint them that way. It's so busy that you can't see the flower because of all the petals. And bring this out. Now, since we're working dry, it's very forgiving. Yeah. Oh, I see some color spilling out of here. I'm going to borrow some of that. Tap, 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 tap. You see? You see how we can just bring some of that out? Good stuff. Take some white. Let's bring that out more. Boom. As your paint sets up, you will go back in and add more color, more paint. Oh, let's get that in. Just picking these petals out. Watch this stroke. We're down. We curve around like a roller coaster. We're back up to the tip. And oh, look at that. Woof. Yeah. My wife, Catherine, will be doing some of the shows down the way. And look for her. Doing her style of painting, even though she's doing the same thing, you'll find that her style is more feminine. Good thing it's not the other way around. Yeah. Her style is more feminine. And she gets a nice, a different look to the painting. We could both do the same painting. You could tell who did what very easily. Let's get a little edge there. Look at that. Is that graceful? See it? Feel it. Feel the rhythm. We've got another petal up here. And having that acrylic on the background, I tell you, it's a kick having this canvas sealed, having a little linseed on there. It just makes your painting experience, it'll open up a whole new world for you. Because I know a lot of you have been painting, and you have the basics, and somebody has shown you how to stroke the canvas to get something that resembles a flower. But it doesn't have any feeling to it. It's so mechanical. You have to have some passion in what you're doing. You have to have passion. You have to get some inspiration. Where is your inspiration? You guys, wherever you live in the country, you have gardens out there. I've even gone up to homes and knocked on the door and said, "Can I photograph your roses?" And they always say yes. and I go out and photograph roses. Every town has a garden where there's beautiful flowers, there's beautiful tulips. Take your camera out and photograph. Make yourself a library of photos, because this is where you draw your inspiration from. If you don't have that to draw from, you're in trouble city right away. How we doing up here? We're going to take a little blue and white, blue, turquoise blue, or cerulean blue. Now, basically, our flower is just gray. Now, we can go in and start adding a little color. And what happens is that the gray will keep everything neutral. It neutralizes the color. So that if you should get a color up here that is too bright, the gray underneath will tone it down. So it's just wonderful for you guys out there. It's sort of a safeguard that you don't mess up and get your painting too gaudy looking. We have a little, way down here on the bottom, we have a little touch of cool color down here. Everything's subtle. Don't scream and holler at people. They'll see it. Because flowers should be painted with some feeling, and they shouldn't be hard looking. Let's see, I see some sienna. Oh, this is great because we have time now to get our detail. We have time. Watch me wiggle that up there. We have time to play. Now that's in there and it's very hard looking, I know. But you put your color in. And then we'll soften it in. See? See how we soften? You work it in. Become one with the painting. Become one with the painting. Let's come down and take mauve with some white. Mix up a very pale value. And that's going to go right in here. Yeah. See how we tint that petal? You see it? Let's put a little here. This isn't even in the painting I'm working from, but as you work, you'll hear a little voice that says, why don't you put some over here? That little voice is telling me, why don't you put some over here? Look at how it's just a tint. We don't want to scream and holler. Let's put a little, and maybe, ooh. Oh, yes. Cool. Okay. We've got some leaves to go in. I know in the original painting there was a bud, and I don't know if we'll get time to put that in, but we want to. There's some other stuff I want to show you. Let's take some green and sienna, and we have a nice leaf that kind of overlaps up here, and it comes down. It's a slightly dark. Then we'll stop. Then we'll come back down, pick up some phthalo yellow, green, and yellow, and tie into that. See it? And it comes down and it fades into nothing. Remember the finger. And fade that bottom right out. Phthalo yellow, green, and we have another one over here coming down, and it fades away. We have phthalo yellow, green, and white. And this one gets a little wiggly. We have one that comes down, it wiggles around. Now watch this. I know that looks a little strange. This is chrome oxide green and sienna. Chrome oxide green and sienna. And watch how I'm going to come in here. Right here. And tie that right underneath. Now, what we're going to do, we want to try to see if we can get this to curve around. Yeah. We're going to darken it up underneath. Sometimes they get a little stubborn, but that line has to be sharper. There. So it looks like it's curved. That's not bad. On the bottom, put this up on the lip and our finger. And just blend that. See, we want everything fading away on the bottom, so it just fades into nothing. We have some leaves that are coming up the top, way up here. We'll get these in. Now this is just yellow, maybe a little sap green, that's all I'm getting. We have another skinny one that comes way up here. Leaves are very important. Actually, leaves they set the backdrop for the painting because the flower is the prima donna. Here we have one that comes up this way. Now watch. It comes up, but it turns. It turns. Watch how it comes back down this way. See? Only to make that curve, to accent that, we're going to come in there with a dark underneath. See? That really makes that turn under. I'm going to take a little white because that's not turning enough. There it is. Ooh, I got lucky. I got a little light on the end. Double load, double load. We have another one here. Now, this helps to balance everything off, you guys. Another one there, maybe another one here. I'm looking at this one over here and I'm going, maybe we got a little too wormy with that one. It looks a little wormy, which happens. Let's see if we get rid of some of that. It looks a little better. I don't want to get all finished and then go, uh-oh, I left wormy on there. I'm going to come in here, put this up. Let's blend it out. Finger works great. Okay. There is some white. And it has sort of little veins in it, which is quite typical of this kind of iris leaf. See it? And maybe over here, a little light in here. Yeah. Well, let's take a look and see what we're doing. We're looking good. Take a little sienna and a little red. And when it come on the tip, and bring that down. Because many times the flower will change color on the tip. It turns a little kind of a dark red. Now I'm looking the painting over, making sure I got everything in there. Okie dokie, I'm gonna pull that out. How's that edge doing there? I think I need more white. More white. Sometimes you have to let the painting tack up before you can get your whites on, but that's what I'm looking for. Because we have a lot of gray and we don't have any pop. We want to pop it. If your painting is going dull, it means you don't have enough lights in your painting. Now you guys have more time than I do. More time to play. So we probably would be a good idea to let it set up at home and get a little tacky and then go put your lights in. Because my gray now I can see is eating up a lot of my poor lights. But that's all right. We're not looking too bad. I'm going to take a little more white. Snap it in there. Snap it in there. I know there's a bud in the original painting, but the bud will be in the book because I wanted to take just a minute to show you something else. So let's come in on this leaf right here, very, very, very close. As close as you can get to this point. Yeah, right there. Let me show you. Let me entertain you. Let me show you how to paint a dewdrop. Yes, right in here, a dewdrop. When you paint a dewdrop, you paint the shadow in first. See? And then it kind of comes up like that. Usually it leaves a little trail behind it. You stay right there. Then we have some white. Now the light on a dewdrop, a light will come in here and come out the other side. You see? And then we come in and kind of clean it up a little. We'll take a little more white and ending the show, a couple little dots, and there is your dewdrop. Whoop! Well, you guys have more time to play at home than I do. The dewdrop will be in the book. Take care out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Er is een schitterend nieuw boek uit van Garry Jenkins. Boordevol tips en prachtige voorbeelden. U heeft dit nieuwe boek al in huis voor slechts €35. Of bestel voor dezelfde prijs de gloednieuwe 3-uurs DVD met Nederlandse ondertiteling. Garry Jenkins leert u alle geheimen van zijn schildertechnieken. Kijk voor bestelinformatie op omroepmax.nl of teletextpagina 332.